Good day again, Susanna De Beer here, and today is about skirting clips. What you need to know if you're renting table skirts. When you're renting table skirts, the table skirts have Velcro along the top edge, so they need to be Velcroed to something, which will be clips. So these are the little clips. There's 1 inch, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. They're in different sizes, so it's very, very important if you're coming in to rent and you require table skirting, that you know the thickness of the table that you're attaching the skirt to so that the correct clips can also be rented. You'll be renting 1 clip for every foot of table skirt. This way, it kind of really secures the skirt to the table. You can do less if you have a little bit more experience, but my recommendation is always 1 clip per foot. This way it's even, there's no sagging between clips to hold up the skirt. Because remember, that is still material and it can be heavy. Now, when you're renting table skirts, that is just a skirt for the table. That does not cover the top of the table. So if you're thinking you want the top covered, you will need to rent a separate linen to cover the top of the table. Typically, people will rent a non-floor length, like a lap length linen, and they'll skirt that. If you want to do it all in one shot, then you have to forego skirting and do a floor length linen. Then you don't need a skirt because it'll already be floor length with a 1 single linen. But skirting is definitely a nice look for certain applications, and if that's what you like, that's what you get. So remember, 1 clip per foot for the skirting, and measure the thickness of the table so that when you call to go rent the skirting or request it, you can put that in a note. Hey, my table is this thick. Then we'll know what skirt clips to add to your rental quote to send that over to you. And now about the length of the table skirt. So just remember, measure your table. You have the width. If you're using standard folding tables, the width is typically 2.5 feet. So the 2 ends would be 5 feet. The front, if it's a 6-foot table, is 6 feet. So you'll have 5 feet, 2.5, 2.5, which is 5, plus a 6. Add that up is 11 feet. So a 14-foot skirt then would go nicely along the front, the 2 sides, and it'll curve a little bit around the back to kind of finish it off. Now, this is only applicable if your table is up against the wall. If you're using the table in the middle of the room, then you'll need to skirt all the way around the table. So then you'll need 6 plus 6, which is 12. 12 plus the 2 ends, 2.5 and 2.5 is 5, is 17. So then you'll need a 17-foot skirt to go all the way around. It's the same thing for an 8-foot folding table. You're going to need 21 feet to go all the way around, right? Because you're adding 2 extra feet to the length. So you need 4 extra feet. So 17 plus 4 is 21 feet. So for a 21-foot skirt, you need to go all the way around. Now, if you're stringing, you have a 6-foot, 6-foot, 6-foot end to end, you'll need to measure the whole way around how many feet you're going to need, because you're not going to go in between each table if you don't have to, right? You're going to go all the way around the entire perimeter. So you need to measure that. Very important to be able to get your measurements so that you know what you're getting and you know what you're needing before you start renting. Because typically once you rent and you pick it up, there's really not a whole lot of fixing that can be done because you're gone home, you're at the venue, you're setting up, and we may already be closed, right? So it's very important to do that upfront legwork to know what it is that you need so that you're ordering the right length, the right number of clips to make the event as smooth as possible for yourself and as less stress as possible as well.